This one's called Crashing. These wings that weave in cloudless flight never rest unscathed nor convulse upon landing. A buckle in procession had banished with a sigh, roughed a surface for a friction, denied by the leather seats stitchless to skin. Rows of eased men chattered inertly to their last gasp, senseless in their gilded world, and so they were contented, until brought to bones, not from burning robes, nor of the press at the host's feet, and nor of a prophet's instruction. Just a pattern of projections, explosives and questions, falters, internal scrapes and whirs, a guardian's fretful slumber. The voiceless were dubbed by her scream on time, between a synapse and the tongue's lapse, their final faith suspended. The trailing craft was tilted to the fall, like the drive of oxen raging hornwards to their range. And those shards of canopic jars broken in the sand were observed by a youthful son, grieving not yet in downward slopes, with his snakish crown reared still. And those that pulsed were tombless, soiled, with no company of a jackal's probing face, while the hawks, those 9 friends, performed their sky-bound rites. And so they were lamented, embraced by none of those ancient arms, not of the one, nor of the native men. This one is it's quite a short ekphrastic piece. It was inspired by the painting The Temptation of St. Anthony by the Spanish surrealist painter Antonio Sarra. It's it's called What Tempted St. Anthony. I beheld this stranger Argus, a woman every inch, a brow raised for every prayer, her fine spray ordained in every fleck to land as it should upon my head. My sight edge has become violent with her painted face. At times she brays, whittles from her prime age, her robe patterned with the ripples of years, rustled fingers, lomans crackling in the palm. I fear lest they burst and spiral when I grip. She would stir and raise her freighted eyes, her touch-me-nots waking, paper lips in a grimace. Now I search my pillow for the feeling of a face. I search for shoulder hairs and the beckoning years of youth, the orphan grain of sand, an unrequited lilt of the breeze. Will I fracture, senile, a riddled head, unless I fall and slumber in her bindweed bed? This last one is called Panopticon. Now the screens into which I gaze start to mirror the loss of my intent. On most blanched nights, I forget I am a delegate, a capillary in a tower, rearing weightless, the subjects I survey are my works in progress. And with the other faculties complete, a faultless engine, I refine their lives. I am of the body that carves itself, and of eyes that now I wish were blind. I am vigilant contrary to all will, for the misfortunes we house recede like catacomb shades from a prying lens. I have crosshairs on curses, every footslip focused, determined, in full. Death is foreign to us now. A pill can make it an untouchable other. Those who fail to grasp it are gone, last seen hooked in a guard's arm. I report the fault and grade of transgression to the warden whose eyes upon us reciprocate an empty task. There are watch and watchers. The old question of which we are is answered on a dotted line at birth. Though monotony folds my memory, it felt almost as a grain until this hour I caught through the glass. I see a misfortune, looking all but lulled in the grasp of centuries, brought before the stand, that appeared of harshest stone, coloured with what remains of such white-flossed heads as his. The benches closed their juries around the court, curious razors in their eyes and smiles, contented, but for something they shuffled in waiting. All anticipate an outcome, though I don't have to. His wife had died that morning, and so will his breath for grief. Before I returned to the procession, the gavel had been slammed. Heartless, but with head composed, the convict was dragged out. On another screen, he lashed against the room, so bright that corners were lost on the white walls, all dimensions levelled to a seamless plague. Visibility is a perfect captor. No need of struggle, verbal threat, or even colour. Let there be light, I somewhere read once. Before he that spoke illuminated the world and cast himself as a warden, with all nations' cells, leaders' guards, fields as farms, where he set his products to work. I realise the sickness that they possess is not mothered by a poor luck, yet to find a cure is beyond my power.